What's up, everybody? Tony Cotillo show right here, and we're ecstatic. I haven't marked out this much in a long time. This is what I was waiting for. It's what we were waiting for, as always, because guess what? It is the TIFFY time era. The TIFFY time era. That's what it is. Okay? I cannot wait to see what happens. If you're live checking in right now, make sure you like, you subscribe. If you're on YouTube or if you're not on YouTube, get over to YouTube and make sure you like and subscribe on the Tony Cotillo show. A lot of big content coming up, but most importantly, tonight, it's the new champ. The champ is here, and we want to talk about it. If you're up on X, if you're on Instagram, if you're on Facebook, wherever you're at, you want to get live, get into contacts or the comments. It's just a contacts. I was absolutely going crazy, and I think that the entire roof was blown off the arena as well. Everybody was going crazy. Okay, everybody, because that's exactly what they thought was going to happen. It was talked about, but the way it was done was brilliant. That's what I just want to say. The way it was done is brilliant. Listen, we already know Tiffany Stratton is already a polished Olympian, right? She's already an athletic goddess. She just had to learn the intricacies of the WWE. And now you're going to see her shine because that's what she's going to do. Tiffany Stratton is going to shine. Okay, there was 2 pops tonight on SmackDown that blew the roof off. Okay, and no, it wasn't Yeet. All right, Yeet was all right, but it wasn't Yeet. Okay, LA Knight blew the house off. All right, simple LA Knight and Tiffany Stratton. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I think they kind of ruined Tiffany Stratton a little bit with the whole Nia Jax thing. I wasn't a huge fan in the beginning, but it was breathing for a little bit. I allowed it to breathe. I allowed it to catch on, and I saw what they were doing, and I think they were just giving Nia some time. And you know what? We said what you want, but she had a pretty decent run as a heel. She really did. And I think that's the one thing that we need to talk about. She had a really, really good run as a heel. But now you see what's going to happen here, right? You know what's setting up. The queen is coming back. All right. And this was a time to say, guess what? I'm going to predict this. Okay. I like to do this a lot. Again, Tony Cotillo show. Make sure you're live. Check it in. Let me know how you're feeling. Let me know. What do you think about Tiffany time? Tiffany Stratton finally cashing in the Money in the Bank on WWE Smackdown. The first 3-hour episode, by the way, this should have been the main event, in my opinion. I'll say that too. Like, no disrespect to the bloodline, no disrespect to Yee and Sami Zayn, who had a really cool pop and all, but this should have been the main event. I think they missed on this, in my opinion, because that crowd, after Tiffany won, with the way they set it up, was over. Like, everybody ready to go home, man. Like, honestly, I get it. We're still packed, and but you're watching, and you're like, this has got to be the end, man. This is it. And the crowd went over. Tiffany went over. We knew she was going to go over. And I was kind of curious, too, about what kind of reception she was going to get after she won. Was it going to be kind of like that, that heel-esque? But it wasn't, man. She blew up. She blew up. It's going to continue to blow up. She's going to have that Charlotte factor to where she can do whatever she wants. That's how over she is with the WWE. And Monday night on Netflix, with everything coming up, it's going to be interesting to see as we head into Royal Rumble season, as we head into WrestleMania season, how this is all going to play out. Now, one thing you heard was Becky Lynch was coming back to really put her mark into another WrestleMania run. Who's that going to be with, right? You look at Liv Morgan, and is Rhea Ripley going to do something against Liv Morgan? Is this going to be, Rhea Ripley, Becky Lynch? I'm not sure. I don't think, could be my, it's very unbiased, but I don't think you can take Liv Morgan all the way to WrestleMania. I just don't think you could do it. I think that she's played a really good role, but I think it's done. I do. I think it's done. And you have too many people that need to get a hand on that title. Now, I will say I'm not a huge Becky Lynch guy. I was never a huge Becky Lynch guy. I respect the grind. I respect her as a wrestler in the business, but and I like the whole man persona, but I just think it's a little stagnant. It is. It's a little stagnant for me. So I look at this again and I say, we're ushering in a new era, and with the Netflix era. And what they needed to do was get somebody that was going to take them over the top. You have to remember. Now, I know this is going to sound a little crazy, but who did I say had the two biggest pops of the night? There was two people. It was LA Knight and it was Tiffany Stratton. Now, you do know that Roman Reigns is being moved off of SmackDown to go on Netflix as per Netflix and the contract. There's no way, okay, that they can't have somebody else on SmackDown that's going to, elevate the brand besides Cody Rhodes. Guess what? Cena comes back, but he's going on Raw. So you got to get the next level. And I think the next level is Tiffany Stratton and LA Knight. I do think they can hold a huge interest value within the WWE, especially with a 3-hour show. Now, I want to address something that I saw on Twitter earlier, or X, whatever the hell you want to call it. Again, this is live. It's Tony Cotillo's show. We're talking live. Tiffany Stratton's epic WWE Smackdown cash-in. If you didn't see it, watch it over and over again, man. It was brilliant. It was brilliant. It was, it had us all fooled. Had me fooled. I think she was doing it. Came out. Here we go. But I kept thinking, like, But then when the camera went, I was like, all right, she's not doing it. But then all of a sudden came back, boom. It was almost like when when Sami Zayn hit Tribal Chief in the back with a chair. You kind of knew it was coming, but you weren't sure when. And we knew this was happening with Nia. And we knew this was happening with Tiffany. It's her time, man. It's her time. And the fans said it enough. I mean, the pop that she got, that she walked out to after she won that belt, she knows. And I'm sure as soon as she got in the Gorilla, man, I guarantee the first person besides her boyfriend and Kaiser to congratulate her was probably Natty, because that's what Natty does. Okay, that's what Natty does. But we got to give two shout outs. Number one, got to give a shout out to Naomi. And I get, when Trinity came back, that we all kind of knew, is she going to get a run? There's two belts. We think inevitably she would get a run. And I saw somebody post on X, and they said, why does Naomi constantly have to be the person that puts people over? And I mentioned Natalya, and she's always been that person that put people over. Unfortunately, you have to go by the crowd reaction in wrestling. And I still don't know, for some reason, why she can't carry that reaction. She carried it when she went away from WWE for a little bit, which came back. I think it's the glow thing. It's got to go. It's very kiddish. Like, we're ushering in a new era, going away from the PG era. I think she's got to go away from the glow. I do. I think that's the biggest thing. She has to go away from the glow. And I think then maybe she changes a little bit. And I think that's when maybe she can really captivate an audience, because that's the problem. Nothing about her rush. She had a hell of a match tonight with Nia Jax. I think she laid it all out on line. One of her best matches I've seen in a long time. Very, very good. But again, didn't hold the crowd. Another person I tell you guys I'm really in is Mi Chin. I love Mi Chin. I love Mia Yim. But I just don't see the crowd reaction for her. As much as they try, it's just not happening. Tiffany Stratton walks out and she instantly is the top dog in the yard, so to speak. She really is. And it's going to continue. It really is. Really going to continue. Tony Cotillo Show here. Make sure you're live, checking in. Hit that subscribe, hit that like. Like I keep saying, we got a lot of good content up. A lot of people checking in on the Baker Mayfield video. It's going viral, man, which is amazing. I told you guys from the beginning, I'm building this from the ground up. Really nice. You know, I had a couple people telling me, oh, man, you can't do that, man. You can't. The views aren't here. The views aren't here. Got to do this, got to do that. Guess what? If you do it the right way, it will happen. That's all I'm going to say. If you do it the right way, excuse me, it will happen. And just like they did with Tiffany Stratton, they did everything the right way, and it happened. And, you know, you go back on a lot of the captions on the Money in the Banks over the years, whether it be male or female, it doesn't matter. And there's so many symbolic moments, but this in particular was bigger than that, in my opinion, because now I think maybe one of the best ever is going to be Seth Rollins when he cashes in, right, at WrestleMania. I think that was huge. I don't think anybody expected that. You think of moments to where, remember with SummerSlam, where Triple H turned on Daniel Bryan, right? You think about that, you know, that with Randy Orton. So I always think about those moments, but this one tonight, it hit different. It really did. It hit different because I think we were waiting for this moment. We were waiting for this moment. We were finally saying, when is Tiff finally going to cash that in? And knowing Triple H, knowing the way Hunter works, I think he planned this out perfectly, man. He did. You know, I was getting in with my boy Christian on X, and he was saying only a matter of time before Charlotte comes back. Absolutely. She comes back on Monday, and they keep saying she's coming back with a different persona. Now, remember, everybody that comes back on Monday doesn't mean they're staying on Raw. They're branding that show because obviously they want it to be one of the best of the year because they're unveiling this new product on a new network. So looking at that and looking at that perspective and understanding the way this is all going to play out, I look at this and go, you know what? When you have all these women, and one of them is Bianca Belair, okay? We haven't even touched that subject yet. One of them is Bianca Belair, who, did you see the KOD tonight on Nia Jax? Are you kidding me? On Nia Jax. That was some of the biggest shows of strength I've seen since China. Said that online. I have not seen that kind of strength from a woman since China. So I'm forward thinking here. And again, we're talking about new champion Tiffany Stratton, epic WWE Smackdown cash in on the first 3-hour episode. She does what we wanted her to do. It is the Tiffy time era. But think about what they set up tonight. Now, when you saw Bianca Belair and you saw that kind of strength, there's only one other person that I feel that can go toe to toe with her with a test of strength. And you know where I'm going. It's the juggernaut in Jordan Grace. And I feel, looking at the way this is all going to set up, is you have the ability to bring Jordan Grace in at the Royal Rumble, to whether you bring her in to NXT, whether you bring her right to the roster, whatever it's going to be, and you set that up. It's not Jade. It's not Jade. I'm telling you, not Jade. She's not ready for that. This is Bianca, and this is Jordan Grace. I feel like that's setting up. And that's a way to kind of, soften the blow for her not being in the title conversation at this moment, because I think it's a bigger program that they have to do. But I really look at that and think that that has a lot of credence behind it. And then what does that leave? What does that leave for Tiffy? Are they going to do a program with Nia? I don't know, man. Like I'm not feeling the whole Nia Candice LeRae thing. I'm just not feeling it. I don't think Nia is going to continue right now. I just don't see it. I think it ran stale at the end. I think she did a really good job up to a point. I think it's done. I do. I think it's done. I think the belt has to go back to Rhea Ripley. 100%. She actually did a great job. And now it's Rhea time. It's Rhea time. Because remember, what you want is that Royal Rumble contestant to win and pick who they're going to battle. So that brings you to who wins the Royal Rumble. Is it going to be Becky Lynch again? Charlotte? Like, who's it going to be? But somebody's going to have to win that Rumble in order to decide who's going to face Rhea Ripley, who's going to face Tiffany Stratton. And I'll be honest with you, man. I think this Tiffany Stratton is setting up for Charlotte. I do. And I'm going to tell you why. Because they mentioned Charlotte changing her an entire persona when she comes back. We're going to see a different Charlotte. Oh, why? Why are we going to see a different Charlotte? Think about it. Because you have Tiffy, who is basically like a microcosm of Charlotte Flair. Obviously not with the lineage and all that, but I'm just saying, you listen, blonde hair, very cut, very athletic, right? Kind of like a freak in the ring. So you're thinking it's two to say we have to separate them a little bit. So now you run that program with Charlotte Flair. I mean, again, this is the great part about wrestling is you have to dissect it all and you have to kind of give your own opinions and own thought process and think about how this is all going to work. And I do see a program to where Tiffany Stratton could essentially go Charlotte Flair. Now, I did hear rumors again that Alexa Bliss is coming back. Now, I mean, listen, we're talking 20 minutes just on the women's division. That's how elite this is right now. So you talk about Alexa Bliss, how much more perfect than you have a program with Alexa Bliss and Liv Morgan? Throwing it out there. What better? What better? And then maybe Naomi comes out and shows that she's the one who attacked Jade. Or is it Becky Lynch that attacked Jade? Somebody attacked Jade. So whoever that attacker is going to be, that's going to be that program. So I'm trying to set up, what's going on. And then you still have Bayley. Who I do think, I don't know if the face is working. I don't know if the face is working, man. I don't feel like it's working. I think she's getting dead air out there. And it sucks. I love Bayley. But I think when she won that belt She had that time, and then it kind of ran dry. It did. And I see a lot of dead air with Bailey when she comes out. It sucks, but it's true. It sucks, but it's true. But right now, what is true is we have Tiffany Stratton, man. And I want to ask this, and I'm not going to sit here all night. It is Friday night. I got stuff to do. Again, shout out to everybody who's been supporting the channel, who continues to subscribe, who's checking in. Again, we're just not Philly here, man. We talk everything, right? All different sports, all different news topics, music, news and noteworthy topics, youth sports, wrestling, right? All the other sports, Philly sports, local sports, national sports. It's everything. If it's important, we're talking about it. And I could go around in circles all over, whether it be sports betting, you name it. I can talk it all. But speaking of sports betting, make sure you get signed up over there at Odd Shopper on Tails for the jigsaw pieces and the plus money props ring. That where you get 2 to 5 plus money props every single night, where we average a 60 to 70% return each week. So you pay $20 a month. You'll usually hit that in the first couple nights, or the first week you'll get that money back. You'll be playing for free the entire time. Also have a package called the Jigsaw Pieces, where you're going to get the top odds. I'm going to give you the top odds. So there's a bet out there, 12 different books. Guess what? It's a big difference. I give you the best odds. So I do all that work for you, and then we get the parlays as well. And listen, we're hitting some parlays. We haven't hit a parlay in about 4 days. But when we hit them, they're stacked, which is good. So getting back to the wrestling realm, and again, you can get that link in the description. Tiffany Stratton is going to be champ for a while. I feel that. This isn't just like, let's give Tiffany a belt for a couple months. I don't feel like that. I think if they would have gave it to her earlier, it would have been only for a month or so. I don't think it would have been a huge run. But now that they kind of let her sit back and learn and understand the business side. So that's the thing. Her in-ring ability is second to none. And that's why I think she will work so well with Charlotte. But her, she would work great with Bianca too. But I do think Jordan Grace is coming in, and I think that they're going to have to figure it out. And you also have people at NXT. You guys know how I feel about Jada Parker. So Jada Parker is going to have to come up as well. So that's going to be interesting, kind of dynamic too. Roxanne Perez, who's doing a hell of a job as champion, she's going to have to come up. There's a lot of movement that's going to go on with the women's roster, man. And I think that's why you see them shift to a 3-hour program. I know people didn't like it. You have a lot of talent, right? You're cutting out live shows. You're cutting out some of the PLEs. So you have to utilize your talent as much as possible. And I think Trips is doing the best he can. And I think he's obviously coordinating this ship 6 months in advance. So Tiffany Stratton's going to be around a while with that belt. I feel like she'll have multiple runs with multiple opponents, and possibly even get to the point where she possibly puts a couple people over. And I think that could happen as well. All right, so there's a lot of interesting movement, but one thing's for sure. Tonight will go down in history with Tiffany Stratton cashing in finally, and the way that she did it. I mean, watch Corey Graves, how hype he was getting, right? Honestly, he broke character. He knew how hype this was. Michael Cole always does a fantastic job, but you saw, I think, I'm going to be honest with you, purposely, I think when she got that belt and she was in the ring, I think she had two options. And this is the way I look at things. I think there was two options. I think Tripp said, look, if you win and there's some ceremonious boos and not a huge reaction, I want you to go towards the curtain, walk back, don't really communicate, give them that kind of like what I tell you, like right in her face, right? But if you get the over face reaction, live it up. And that's what she did when she ran and she jumped on top of the scores table. And she was giving you this, man. I'm telling you, That right there just showed to me and to the entire wrestling world that Tiffany Stratton is here to stay as your new WWE Women's Champion. I'm ecstatic. This is the stuff that you tune into. This is what you tune into. This is what you can't wait for now. This is why. So I will leave you with this. Because I was going back and forth with the whole Naomi thing. And a lot of people really felt strong and say, guess what, man? She needs to hold a belt. Think about it. If Naomi wins tonight, let's play this out. Naomi wins. She's the new champ. Next week, after probably an epic Monday Night Raw on Netflix, who now will carry, think about this, Netflix is now going to carry all the episodes of Raw, of SmackDown, of NXT, which means they're going to be running download numbers. They're going to be running stream numbers. They're going to be running analytics. So what does that mean? Guess what? Come on, man. You people know. It means those numbers are going to pick up because everybody's going to be replaying that cash in from Tiffany Stratton. But my thing is to you is going forward, you go now with this epic cash in that brings you to Monday night. Now you have an epic show on Netflix on Monday Night Raw. Now, what are you looking forward to? You're looking forward to Friday night. So right off the bat, it's TIFFY time. Boom. Here comes the music. Here comes the props, the pyros, and we are starting it off. And everybody's waiting for that. So now let's rewind. If Naomi wins, is everybody waiting for that? Just throwing it out there. Is she going to get those streaming numbers? See, I've talked about this before. I'm not afraid to touch the topic because when I was talking about Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, and I brought this argument up, a lot of people kind of backed off. And I said, look, I'm just saying at a certain point, people are going to look at numbers and what sells is what's going to happen. And to me, Tiffany Stratton sells, not Naomi. I'm not holding anything against Naomi. I think Naomi is a phenomenal talent. I think it's the glow. I said it earlier. It's got to go away. She's got to go away from the glow. I think Naomi would be a hell of a heel, just like, and this is not a racial thing, but the way Jackie did back in the day. I do think that would be a huge kind of role for her, kind of being like that hardcore leader, cocky, confident, kind of like when she did the, what was that called? Unity or something. Remember when they had all the different factions? Like, I think she needs to be a heel. I do. I think Naomi needs to be a heel. I think because her promos as being a heel would be fantastic. I do. I think it would be great. So I do think that she doesn't move, or I don't think she moves the needle enough at this moment to be able to give her that belt. And I think that's why Tiffany won tonight. I think we all know that. Don't kid yourself. She's the next big thing. She really is. She will sell out arenas. She will sell tons of merch. Okay. She will sell herself so well that those numbers are going to be through the roof. So again, let me get out of here. It's the Tony Cotillo Show. And when you watch this on replay, let me know, what do you think about my ideologies of, is there going to be a program between Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair? I just have Flair. All right. Tiffany Stratton or Charlotte Flair. Is there going to be a program between the Juggernaut in Jordynne Grace and the EST Bianca Belair? Right? Because I do feel that's coming as well. I do. I think that show of strength would be absolutely insane. It really would. That KOD tonight on Nia, wow. I'm left in awe. Wow. I mean, it was unbelievable. And she didn't just, She didn't just drop her, man. She held her there. She held her there. Big difference between that, that fireman's carry, that they're real quick one that Naomi did that she really needed Nia to get up for, where Bianca just held her off the ropes, moved over a couple feet, and then dropped her. So that was pretty impressive. Again, Tony Cotillo Show. Make sure you like and subscribe. As always, much appreciated. The TIFFY time era is here. Are you ready for it? Because I'm ready for it. All right, I'm ready for it. I'm excited. I'm already waiting. Like, I can't wait for SmackDown next week. I can't wait. I mean, I'm ready for Monday Night Raw. I feel like Monday Night Raw is going to be WrestleMania. So I am ready. I'm ready for SmackDown because I want to see Tiffy come out, man. I want to see who is going to challenge Tiffy. Are they going to put that whole, rematch clause? They're going to run this program with Nia right now? I don't think that they do. So I'm very curious what you think as well. Got Tony Cotillo Show. Tiffany Stratton, new WWE Women's Champion. Her epic cash-in happening tonight. It's a Tiffy time era. Everybody, have a fantastic evening. It's late. Actually, say morning. It's past midnight here on the East Coast. And I'm still hyped, man, because you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go back and I'm going to watch the cash-in another time. And then I'm going to go. I'm going to watch like 2 more cash-ins. I'm going to watch Seth Rollins cash-in at WrestleMania, right? I love the energy that you see with these cash-ins, man. I do. And I love when Tiffy came out tonight, and I want to watch it again, man. I'm excited. So everybody, man, have a fantastic weekend. I'm sure you'll see me popping on here again. We're going to have a weekend full of betting for NFL. It could have been a little tough. A lot of teams not playing for much, but we'll try to lock in on some of those teams that are really playing for positioning and actually playing their starters, not their bench guys. So everybody have a fantastic evening. Have a fantastic morning. Stay safe, stay healthy. Like and subscribe to the Tony Cotillo Show. I will catch you back here next time with Tiffany Stratton. It's Tiffy time, baby.